I was going to go easy on you, not to hurt your feelings.
You f***ing irritate the shit out of me!
I'm only going to get this one chance. It's just a feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen, but I don't know what.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something.
Hey, what's going on, peeps? It's one of my favorite shows, things to do. Welcome to episode 60 of Gap Sell Keenan. For those of you who are new and don't know, Gap Sell Keenan is where I engage a real sales call from a real salesperson who wants to sell me their product or service. If they can find a problem I have, I will buy. If they cannot, they have to subject themselves to my coaching. Yes. So today we have Harry Novick. Harry is from, he'll tell you in a second. But what they sell is, how do I describe this? It's an AI coaching platform. So this is going to be interesting. I'm excited to have him. Welcome, Harry.
Hello and good morning, Keenan. I'm so excited to talk with you. I love your energy.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. So an AI coaching platform. I'm intrigued. So for people watching, so they can understand where we're at, why don't you take 30 seconds to a minute to tell everybody about the product, so at least there's some context.
Perfect. So I'm the founder and creator of Rocky AI. That is an AI coaching platform and personal development app designed to help young professionals and professionals to develop their best in their life and career through the power of AI coaching. And the special thing is, in this platform, we invite people with fantastic content to create a digital twin so that they can reach a much bigger audience, have an entry product of their branded coaching to much more people, and can scale their business. And this is what I want to talk with you about today.
Okay. The floor is, any questions in general about how this works, or the floor is yours? So,
I mean, before I talk more about the app and the possibilities that it brings, I want to understand more of your business and your ideas, how you want to develop your business. It gives me a better understanding to bring you those key benefits of this new technology and these new opportunities. But they, of course, must be relevant for you. So I know you are from the training, consulting, coaching field, but also you work with your book. You teach people how to coach. My question would be, how do you do coaching training today? Who are your audiences and how do you deliver it?
We deliver it via online on-demand training. So we have an LMS that we custom built. We do it virtually. We do it virtually through Zoom or Teams, and then we do it in person.
Nice. Are your audiences individuals, companies, both?
Companies, 90. Well, so the virtual training via Zoom is companies. The in-person meetings is companies, and the LMS on-demand training is companies and individuals.
Okay, great. Understand. Very good, because here we have an overlap. I will come to that. Now, when you coach those companies, how many people actually get your sales coaching, your communication coaching? How big are those groups per company?
Okay, so out of fairness, you asked a really good question. That was training. Let's define this. Training is what I just described. So we train in groups, in person and virtually, and then individuals we do on the LMS. That's training. We don't coach one-on-one. I don't coach one-on-one, and ASG doesn't. Our individual certified consultants do one-on-one coaching.
Perfect. Leading me to another question. So how many people from those organizations are actually coached or trained outside the LMS where your people are involved, giving them personalized or group training? How many people are in there? And
we don't do personalized.
Okay, groups.
We don't do personalized. So after the training, we have group coaching, and so all of them have access to group coaching.
Perfect.
Yes.
So is it the whole company, or is it just a few leaders usually, or key account managers?
It'd be the whole sales team. So it'd be the whole sales team.
Yes. So now where we come along, do you miss opportunities to train more than just the sales teams in these organizations? Yes.
We don't offer any other services for people outside of the sales team. So we target just on the sales teams.
Okay, great. So sales team is your focus. If the sales team did the training, what's with the follow-up? You said you have group coaching, group training.
So we have
yes.
What we have is what we call retention packages. So once somebody goes through the training, we provide either deal coaching. So deal is in a specific opportunity. So we get their sales team together. They send us a deal that's active in their pipeline, or 2 or 3 deals that are active in their pipeline. And then I go through a deal review with them on that. Or another type of one, we have role play. And then another one we have is called call coaching. So we watch a gong call, and then I'll critique or coach how they do in the gong call. So that's what the post-training coaching looks like.
You have pretty great processes in place. I can hear that. Where I want to come along now and identify with you, do you see chances that you can partly automate that, providing an entry product, providing a follow-up product?
Nope. So first things first, right? You haven't found a problem. So you asked some questions, Harry, and you asked what I call physical little questions, and you asked some process questions. You asked how I do this and how I do that. Then you switch to, do I see, this is a self-diagnosing question, and everybody listening, pay attention. This is why self-diagnosing questions get you in trouble. Harry said, do I see an opportunity to do things automated, right?
Yeah.
I said no. So now what do you do? Right? Now you're stuck, right? Your job here is to ask enough questions that gets me to a place where I'm like, wow, you know what? I could use something like this, but you didn't. You asked some questions. You found no problem. Like you have, as a matter of fact, not only did you not find a problem, you literally said to me, wow, it sounds like you've got some really good processes. So you acknowledge that everything is going great and then wanted to sell me something, right? You need to go, right? So go back, find a problem. Here, watch this. What problem do you think you solve?
Now you ask me.
Yeah.
Yes. Very often, companies want to deliver a training and coaching.
Stop. You say everybody. This is a lesson for everybody. So all you listening, pay attention, because all of you do this, and it's costing you sales. I asked you, what problem are you trying to solve? And you started with, most companies want to do. Stop talking about what they want to do. Why do they want to do it? What is the problem they're trying to solve? What problems do they have now that they would want to do something? Does that make sense, Harry?
It does make sense.
Okay.
And the key problem is they cannot spend the money for all the employees who should receive, for example, communication coaching, for example, intercompany or sales coaching. They have to train the whole organization. Sales is from top to bottom to everyone. At least they invest into their salespeople and in their leaders, but they cannot afford human coaching, human training to be brought out throughout the organization.
Okay, the problem you solve is the scalability of the training, is what you're saying. People are unable to train all of the people because of cost. Is that what you're saying? That's the problem?
It is. It is.
Ooh, that's a small problem potentially. Okay, so go tell me more about that. Okay, so why do you think I should buy your product or service? What problems do you think I'm struggling with? You think I should address?
The problem versus the opportunity is you have the content, you have the scalability with the brand, with the original content. You have already the clients. With AI, we provide an opportunity.
You're selling me the product, though. You can't do that. You keep trying to tell me what you provide. Look, what problem would I be having that I would invest money to pay this? What problem am I having? You got to link it to a problem. Everybody listening, you must find a problem that I would want to solve with your product or service.
The problem that we can solve is that you can serve more people at the same time.
Okay, we can solve more people. Okay, so what you're saying is the problem I might have is growth. So I'll go with that. Everybody, you guys are a quiet group today. I'm looking down here. Quiet group. No one's got anything to say. So, all right, so you're saying the problem is growth. And that growth is because I can't serve as many people. So now you've got to dig into and find out if that's true. You got to figure out, am I bumping into scaling issues because I can't serve as many people, right? So So you should be asking questions around that. That's like, you need to find that problem for me.
Absolutely. I mean, you got me on the first point when I was asking the questions and asked you about your great flow that you already have. I was going this direction, stopped it, but definitely. So do you want to, in the opportunities of growing, where are the limitations today for you?
Okay, so I'll answer it, but just so everybody paying in for your coaching, that's a self-diagnosing question. I may not know what those limitations are. And as an expert, you should be able to ask questions targeting that. You might say things like, I'm making this up. You may say things like, hey, do you have clients who can't afford your training and really want it? And you have no way of delivering it because they can't afford it, right? So that might be a thing where, right? So I might say, or you might say, hey, I just told you I don't do one-on-one coaching. You never asked me why. You never asked me why I don't do one-on-one coaching.
Mm-hmm. So why don't you do one-on-one coaching?
Because I don't think it scales. I don't think it scales. The amount of time it takes to coach somebody one-on-one versus what we can charge for that, for my time, isn't worth it. You understand? Yes. It's not worth it, whether it's $150 an hour, $200, or $500, or $1,000 an hour, right? $1,000 an hour, most individuals can't afford that, and I'm not taking them on for that. So that's why I don't do personal coaching. That's why our certified trainers do the personal coaching. So okay, go.
And you're still the personal trainers that you work with also have an issue with delivering for the price and the issue, do they?
No.
Limitations? No. Yes. Mm-mm. No.
They don't. No.
Yes. So if you could.
If I could. See, you're trying to sell me again. If I could, that's future state. So, Harry, you are living in the future. Oh, my goodness gracious, Harry, you're living in the future state. Harry, get out of the future state. Start trying. You have to think about my business, okay? Yes. And if you don't understand a piece of my business, you ask a question. And then if you understand it, you start formulating we might be able to help here, but maybe not here. Let me ask more information. You're like a doctor. You have to diagnose my world so that you can explain why and how Rocky.ai is going to make my life better. Look, I'm not in the world, and most buyers aren't in the world of buying a product like investing in a software application, like an investor, like a VC. Yes. I'm not here to make it successful. I have business to do. And so I've got to see how your platform is going to integrate into my business so I can drive more revenue and it'll solve problems that I can't solve right now. So let's try this again. Okay, sorry, Laura Little, just only because you're nice and you asked, but you got to get here on time, people. Rocky AI is an AI consulting platform for those who are paying attention.
It's an AI coaching, inspirational coaching platform. So we talked about the coaching. You can't do it yourself. You explained me why. You have coaching consultants who do that for you. Is there any struggle that you have in this correlation, or anything that you would like to have differently right now?
Okay, So here's the deal. You've done it again. You're asking me if there's anything I want differently. So I say no. Now what do? You're fucked. True. I say no. There's nothing I want to. You really have to learn to think about my world. So this is my first piece of real feedback to you. Before I do that, I'm going to ask you a question, Harry. Harry, have you done any research on coaching, how coaching is performed, how coaches do their job, what the 5 or 7 elements of ideal coaching is, the psychology of coaching, the outcomes of coaching? Have you done any research in that whole space?
Absolutely, I did. Yes.
Okay, so the answer is yes. Then I want you to start thinking in those terms. And because if you did that, my assumption is that your AI does that better, or there's something you're bringing to the table that you built that makes that coaching better, right? If it's simply just scalability, then you might want to ask questions about scalability, but if it provides better coaching, ask questions about the coaching. You're not getting into my business. You keep asking me, do I think? Those are self-diagnosing questions. And considering I don't do coaching, I don't think. I don't give it any. It has no rent, no space in my head. It's paying no rent. Oh my God, I can't talk. It's taking no space in my head. So the answer I'm going to tell you is no. I don't think that because I don't think about it.
You don't think about it. So I asked you about the coaching field. I asked you about the training and how you deliver it. Now, we came from the sides that we talked about the scalability. We also come from the side that we talk about following up. I initially asked about these follow-up programs. Now, are your customers always happy after having delivered coaching training via your partners, via your program? Is there progress there that you can measure? How do you measure that?
Yeah, so we survey all of our clients. At the end, we do an NPS score, and our clients, on the most part, are thrilled. So yes, we measure that in a survey at the end, and they're very happy. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And how can you ensure that they do their homework after trainings? What is in this process? How does it work with you?
So there's no homework after the trainings. Mm-hmm. And then as far as during the trainings, we have a platform that we built that we deliver the training in so that they have their own portal. And each person who goes through the training can take notes and follow along in the exercises. And it lets us know each participant in the training, how far they got, what notes they took, what notes they didn't take, what exercises they finished, et cetera. And that's all built into the training platform we use.
The training platform is created by yourself, you said? How did you do that?
No, it's customized to us. It's a third party, but we customize it to our business. So yes.
Great.
So if you come to a training with us, whether in person or not, you pull out your laptop, you're given a login, you log into your own portal, you'll find the training materials right in front of you, and then you follow along in the training and you write down all the exercise, you do it all in that portal, and then we can go in and click on you and I can see 7 out of 8 modules completed or 9 out of 10 modules completed.
Did you have also occasions where customers ask for improvement or change or for a different interaction with that?
No.
Did you have this situation from any of your team members who ask for a different method or approaches?
No.
So from the companies, did you have companies that you could not serve but wanted to due to situations as price or systematics?
No.
And do you search any ways to provide more cost-sensitive products to new audiences?
So with the reason we built, I'm throwing you a bone here because you're dying, Harry. You're dying on the
Yes.
You're dying. So I'm gonna throw you a bone. The reason we created the online training is we would get a lot of requests from people that they want to do the training and they just didn't have enough. Like we have a minimum pricing, right? A minimum pricing, and outside of that minimum pricing, a lot of companies said they couldn't afford it, or individuals said they couldn't afford it, right? Which we understood. So that's how we built the online training. So if you're a sales team of 5 or 3 or 4, and you don't want to, pay our minimum pricing, you can put your team through the online training. Now, where is he? Omar Rojas asked a great question. You should have him help you sell. He said, do ever your clients ask for one-on-one coaching, and how many do? So clients do. I don't know how many, how often or how many, but people do ask for one-on-one training once in a while, and we either turn them down or we send them to our certified trainers. But would I like to be able to provide individual coaching to more people in a cost-effective way? Absolutely. That would be interesting, because that would fill a hole. The problem we have is we can't provide one-on-one coaching.
Yes.
Because it doesn't. I told you that before and you didn't dig into it. I don't know how you missed that. Brandon hold on.
Yes. Sorry.
Brandon Rothfuss. So good observation. Brandon says asking a lot of closed-ended questions, not putting the pressure on Keenan, but instead on himself. So everybody pay attention. I don't mind closed-ended questions, but you got to use them strategically. I don't subscribe to the old school approach that says never ask closed-ended questions. I just think that's silly. But I do subscribe to them if they're very purposely used, but if you don't use them right, they're going to get you in trouble. So good observation, Brendan, but people in general don't avoid closed-ended questions. Just know why you're using them and why you want a yes or a no. So with that, keep going. What's your next question?
Yes, we were with the opportunities. You have to turn down one-on-one coaching for people who would like to. You cannot do that. Now, so what would be the price point that would work for you delivering something for them that's interesting to reach those people without you being actually involved physically?
I don't know. That would depend on the infrastructure that I use to do it. So I don't have an answer for that question. I don't know.
Okay. Yes. So with that in mind,
all right. So here's my feedback to you, Harry. You don't do a very good job of understanding my business, or I'd even say the business of coaching. So if you have done a lot of research on coaching, good for you, but you're not translating it into the business world. So when I told you that we built this online training because people were asking us to do the training one-on-one, and we don't do training one-on-one. We have a corporate price with a minimum, and then after that, based on per users, it goes higher and higher. And we were pricing out a large swath of the market, right? So we said, if you're an individual who wants to go to training, or you're a small company who wants to do the training, just do our online training. What do you think happens after that?
After the trainings? Mm-hmm. But you described me about the LMS platform and similar, and what you have in place. So you're offering, you have discovered.
Yeah, so someone buys the LMS training online, they go through it. What do you think happens after that?
At some point, they use it or they stop using it.
Okay, so they get all the way through the training. So this is my point. You're not even listening to what I tell you, because you have chances to potentially find opportunity to find a problem that I have, and you completely missed it. So I'm literally selling you for you now. Everybody paying attention to this. It blows my mind how people can't even sell their own fucking shit. You come on this show and I got to tell you how to sell your own stuff to me. So there's a potential opportunity where when my people are done with that online training, they take it, especially the people who self-subscribe, right? So you should have asked this question. Okay, you have the online training. How many are businesses and how many are people? I would say about 65 or 70% are people. So or individuals, I should say, individuals. So when you say individuals, how do they find you? And I say, I don't know. Most of them find us through Google Ads, or they do it through searches or something like that, et cetera. And then, so what do they do? Is it self-sign up? Yes, it's self-sign up. Oh, okay. So they sign up and then they go through the training. Could you tell me about the training? Yes, it's 9 modules. It breaks down all the steps of gap selling. It's extremely interactive. It's choose your own journey. And so it's almost like being me within a classroom. And then you should say, okay, so when they're done, then what happens? Well, when they're done, that's it. They're done. And then come back anytime and they can review the stuff. And then you can say, well, do you provide any coaching for them when they're done? We say, nope, not really. Then you could say, do any of them even ask for coaching? And say, I don't think so. They just disappeared in ether. And then you say, so wait, it seems to me that if you could capture these people and keep them around longer and offer them additional coaching, you could drive more revenue there. And I said, oh, that's an interesting point. And then you could say, well, how many people in a year sign up? And I would say, oh shit, I would say about 500, probably, I think about 500,000 people sign up for this on their own a year. And then you'd say, wow, okay, so if you could add an additional value on the back end through coaching to help them make it stick, that could be an additional $500,000, $1 million in revenue. That's a good point. Didn't think about that. How many, like, you missed all of that. That's all of that you missed. That's your fucking job, not mine.
Absolutely.
That's
now you're selling
job.
my product. Yes.
Right. And I don't even know that this could solve that, but based on what you're telling me and based on what are the questions you've asked and what you told me you do, that seems like a logical, at least place to start. Right now, it doesn't mean you're going to make the sale, but it's a logical place to start. Right.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think you understand, Harry, how your product or service fits into the business. You need to understand the business side way, 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 way more. So it's been 27 minutes. I had to break down the whole thing for you. So I'll give you 5 more minutes to ask some different questions or to see if you can get this back on track.
I mean, you already gave me a fantastic sales pitch about these cases. All of these answers that you gave in this scenario, are they true?
Yes.
Yeah. So, to complete this 5 minutes, with this digital interaction of them, making them connected with your system, making them connected with your content, reaching them out again, staying in line, what kind of investment would be for you worth for having this tool or opportunity?
I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. Okay, so here's my next piece of advice to you, Harry.
Yes.
Go get a salesperson. You're a nice guy. You can't fucking sell. You're in trouble. If you can't, you either better learn how to sell pretty quick. So one of the things you're going to get for being on the show is free access to the online training. So congratulations. Right? Everybody on the show gets free access to gap selling online training. So the answer is you need to watch that and you need to get better. And I'm not trying to be rough, but I gave you all that stuff. And the first question you asked me is, what is it worth to me? Oh my gosh. So I don't know. So this I'm going to ask you questions now. Okay. Cause I don't think it's going to go anywhere. When you say coaching and you say AI, walk me through what you mean, because coaching to me is very asynchronous and coaching to me is very reactive. So I don't know how to trust that they would be coaching in the proper way.
Yes. So the coaching that we provide via the app is an interactive 5-minute daily coaching that is built upon your original content. It's your questions, it's your topic, it's your inspiration. People will answer your questions to make them think. People will ask the AI to get your responses and answers back in an interactive approach. It's a forward-pushing way of making people think with the system, but also it's an interactive way of a new way of learning management system. Altogether, it increases very highly.
No, I don't know. Stop.
Yes.
Don't tell me one more time. Do not fucking tell me what it does. Sorry. Stop telling me what you think it does. I just want to know the facts right now. I want to know how it works, because every time you drift off into, and it does this and it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit right now, because you're unable to attach it to a problem. You're unable to understand how I coach. So it's just like, I don't even know the words, Harry. It's garbage. It's garbage. Stop doing that. Stay with me in, okay, so how does the coaching work, right? Like, does this person ask a question? Is that how they do it? They just ask questions?
Both sides. The AI asks the person questions, and then it's following up on the response, question, answer.
Okay, and so how does a topic or subject, created or started? So how does the AI even know where that person would want to start being coached?
In In the coaching app, the person is setting up a future self-development plan, key topics of where the person wants to improve. There are assessments inside the app to set this up. And once the plan is set, the daily micro coaching comes in place based on topics set.
Okay, so what you're saying is the person, okay, watch what I do here. This is for everybody, not just Harry. You want to go back to my world. So what you're saying, I'm doing this for you. So what you're saying is in my world, and this is how you should have said it, in your world, Keenan, when somebody completes the online training, they could set up their own coaching. What do you want to call it? Coaching what?
Coaching plan.
Coach. Well, I like that. They could set up their own coaching plan, and then they could pick which areas of the training they felt weren't the most comfortable with or want support with. And so therefore, by building that plan in, the AI will start working with them to strengthen their retention of those areas they were least comfortable in.
Very good description. That's correct. You understood it rightly. Yes. And this is also the main use case of our existing customers. They use it after trainings, after coaching. People have the plan, and then they can continue. They don't lose them. They also ensure that they retain to keep them, first of all, to ensure that the training will stick and people change, but also that they come back to the services.
So this is intriguing. And God, even you are a horrible salesperson, even worse. I'm sorry, but this is intriguing. So when I told you that about our processes of people, everybody coming and listening to me do a deal review or come and listening to do a call coaching, why didn't you dig in there? And why didn't you say, okay, so when people come, go.
I can tell what my failure was. I had a plan in my mind and I tried to bring you there instead of truly listening.
Yes, I've told every person, this is show 60, not show 1, not show 7, not show 9, show 60. And I got to say, probably in half of them, I say, you got to be listening. You got to be, you have to diagnose me. Imagine a doctor. I even said to you, I said, you got to be like a doctor and diagnose. Imagine you're a doctor and diagnosing to get me to tell you what you want, the doctor wants you to hear, not what's actually going on with you. Because if you do what you did, people buy things, or better worse, and a doctor, they take drugs they don't fucking need and they die. You're doing the same thing. You're trying to get me to go somewhere, and I'm either buying a product or not buying a product I don't need, or not buying a product I do need. Everybody paying attention to this, please cut this fucking out. It's what salespeople do every freaking day, and it drives me crazy, and it costs the sales world billions of dollars. It undermines good opportunities for buyers and undermines good opportunities for salespeople. Cut it out. Cut it out. So, all right, here's the deal. I'm intrigued because I think there is actually something that this could do that could increase the value of the training within inside of ASG and gap selling. But there's a whole bunch of questions I have about its effectiveness and its ability to properly coach. And I'm also concerned, to be straight out of the gate, I'm also concerned with the setup. I am very concerned about the setup. We do not have the time to basically write our entire training program all over again to fit inside your AI. Just don't have that time. So
yes.
So this is what I'm willing to. I'm sorry.
One service that we provide is actually, because you have it written in the books and the training, we do this as a service for our clients. You basically pass us over your content. We create the AI version because we also know how the AI version has to work, that people use it in an interactive AI way. That's a service we provide.
Okay. So this is what I'm willing to do. I am willing to give you another meeting. Okay. And talk more about how this might complement our existing LMS and drive additional value for the people who go through that, because we have that whole self-service engine. So someone shows up, they buy it, they go through it, then they don't get any additional coaching. I think that could be huge value and provide substantial new revenue stream for us, as well as more value to the to the salesperson, and differentiate us from the market from the initial engagement with us all the way to the back end and the retention. So I am intrigued. You got yourself a second meeting. No, let me rephrase that. I had to get you the second meeting. And so everybody, this is what happens in shitty sales worlds. The salesperson fucks up, but the buyer somehow is able to navigate through the bullshit that the salesperson threw out and think there's something interesting in there and keep this thing going. And then what happens is either they buy and the salesperson basically took an order, or they don't buy, but they ended up being in the pipeline for 1, 2, 3 months longer than they needed to be, as they were processing what the salesperson was saying. They finally see it, or they get there, like, I don't need this shit, and they move on. That's not how you sell. So you got lucky, Harry. Good for you for coming on. And you got lucky, and we'll get to a second meeting with you. So reach out to Brady and myself. I think you have our emails, correct?
Yes, perfect. Thank you. And I also appreciate all your advices and what you said. Absolutely on the point. I confess on these aspects.
All right, man. Good for you. You're very coachable, and you withstood the heat. You withstood the heat. So thank you, my man. I appreciate it. So with that, thank you. Get back with us, and we'll go from there. All right, my man?
Thank you.
Yep. All right. For the rest of you, Gap Selling 60. I hope you guys got some good stuff out of that, because he made some serious mistakes. Harry, who is your sales leader? How is he or she coaching you? Kimberly, I don't think he has one. He's the founder. So he doesn't have one. So listen, if you have a product or service that you think I or ASG needs, hit us up and come on to Gap Sell Keenan. And if you find a problem we will buy. We have bought from people before. But if not, you got to withstand the coaching of me. So with that, everybody, I hope you learned something today. Thanks for joining us at Gap Sell Keenan number 60. And until next time, and our boy's going to get you'll get a free subscription to Gap Sell Keenan online training too. Look at that. You get that too. I should get the script and read this shit. Right. But you got to subscribe to that. So Harry's going to get that, and maybe that will help his sales skills, because they need it. All right, everybody. With that, thanks again. Peace. I'm out.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something.